Okay, well, I'm trying something new here. I'm trying to use a microphone to talk to people on Facebook through audio only. So, today is going to be my first audio video where I'm going to talk about certain things. Now, I'm going to talk about the human mind. So bear with me here. The human mind is supposed to be the greatest mind in the world. But I have to disagree to that because the human mind itself is actually a downfall, is a spiritual threshold, is a spiritual downfall. So how can I explain myself? Well, it's real simple. The human mind wants to avoid the things that make us greater. The human mind wants to avoid stress. The human mind wants to avoid conflict. The human mind nowadays has people saying hey, don't be negative. Just don't say nothing mean. But quite honestly, how many of y'all been through horrible things in y'all's life? How many of us been through terrible things in our life and we end up making it out of that and becoming greater people? So spiritually, adversity causes character. Going through struggles, adversity, causes people to be challenged. And I think as a species, as a creation, I think that it's very important for us to go through challenges, because if not, we can't grow as a person. Example: if you know someone who's, let's say, rich, and they never been through anything in life, are they survival oriented, or are they good people, or are they boring, lazy? I mean, it just goes on and on and on. The human race for about 10,000 years has been struggling and surviving and succeeding at so many different things, and 90% of those things were not easy. They were quite hard. If you look at just the fact that we went through an ice age, the ice age alone was horrific. If you go back in biblical times and see that we had to survive a flood, if you go back and look at all Hurricane Katrina had a great impact on New Orleans, and New Orleans came out a slightly better people, even though New Orleans itself is the slum of humanity, which is what someone said that I know very personally. So you have to understand, the human mind is something that I think that people are paying too much attention to. And I think that people without the spirit pay so much attention to the mind. And what I'm trying to say is, we go by our thoughts, and we basically listen to our thought process, which could be a good thing if you believe that we came from apes. Could be a good thing, but it's really not, because the mind is pre-programmed to avoid stressful situations. Also, you can see the same resemblance in the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom is very manipulatable. The animal kingdom is very easy to manipulate. Let me explain. If I want to kill a deer, I can go out there and hunt, and may not have much success. But if I start supplemental feeding, that means if I start putting wild food for them out in my front yard, if I start putting corn out there, a salt lick out there, eventually they're going to come and hang around the spot where there's food at, because their mind is programmed to get to take the easy route. Okay, so human minds are not much different. It's easy for a man to say, no, I'm not going to help so and so build a house because it's too hard. But really, if that person said, I'm not going to listen to my mind, I'm going to actually go and help this man build a house, what you have is a person that will experience what it is to sweat and work hard and struggle, and that builds character. So if we sit here and we follow what our mind tells us to do, I really don't think that we're going to progress as a species. I really don't. I think that at this point, 2016, I think that it's pretty much too late anyway, because you got so many people listening to their mind. See, you have a spirit, brothers and sisters. You have a spirit, and that spirit is asking the mind, "Hey, what's your opinion on this?" And I think that's a problem, because you have to understand that the spirit should be leading the mind. The mind will tell you, no, it's too hard. No, don't do it. Or no, he seems to be angry. Let's not be friends with him. Even nowadays, we have young women giving up on love for a short period of time. Who, I mean, that's the mind. That is the mind. You're listening to the mind. See, when you give up on something like love, you don't know how long you're going to be alive. So if you give up on love because your mind says that you're tired of it, you got to understand that your mind is basically determining the way you're living. But the spirit is always strong. The spirit is always willing. So that's why I like to live by the spirit. I like to tell my mind what we're going to do that day. So always remember that sometimes your mind is actually your enemy. The mind is a liar. All the information that we have in our mind is because someone told us that shit and we believe it. So if you think with the spirit, I think that you're going to live a more happy, more peaceful life. There are some brothers and sisters out there that you can chop their leg off and they're going to be praising God. That's not the mind. If you have a person that only believes in the flesh and but only trust in the mind, if you chop their leg off, they're going to be panicking. And I'm sure most of y'all are thinking, well, yeah, we're all going to be panicking, But really, I think that's a state of mind that we should be getting out of. I think we should get out of the state of mind and get into the state of the spirit. So, this is my first audio video. I hope y'all enjoyed it.